Tom Emmer. Tom, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, Sid. Happy Columbus Day and happy Hostages Are Home Day.
Yeah, Tom Emmer, what a really an amazing day when you consider both of those things. Although, I don't know if you know this, Tom, but in New York, a lot of these schools, and you're in the same situation with a person like Fry, who's a horrible mayor in Minneapolis, all these liberals, they don't celebrate Columbus Day. So my son is off from school today celebrating Indigenous People Day. I mean, he's celebrating Columbus Day, but they're still pulling that nonsense at schools across the country.
Well, and you're right about the liberals in Minneapolis. Remember, our lieutenant governor allegedly was behind tearing down the Columbus statue on the Capitol grounds a couple of years back. These guys are crazy, Sid. They're just crazy.
Was that Keith Ellison? Who was that?
No, that's Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, who now wants to be a U.S. Senator.
That's right. That's right. Oh, she's no good. Tom Emmer here on Sid and Friends in the Morning on this Monday morning. So the Schumer shutdown continues. There does not seem to be an end in sight. I mentioned a whole bunch of Congress people, including Mike Johnson, I had on last week, and nobody seems to have any confidence that Schumer is going to do the right thing because he did the right thing last time, and he got lame-basted by his party for that, and they almost fired him. So the thought is he's going to make this last as long as possible. What do you think?
Well, first off, I can't believe New York. I love New York, Sid, and you're home to fools like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and your Senator Kirsten Gillibrand hasn't been very helpful either. I think, to your point, there's a rumor going around Washington that they're waiting for the Hate America rally on the Mall this coming Saturday, the 18th. Chuck Schumer and Democrats are so afraid of the pro-terrorist wing of their party, Sid. They have to do this charade of shutting down the government. It's all they've got, and those are the only people that are happy. It's a minority in the Congress. It's a minority across the country, and they truly do hate. They hate America.
Yeah.
These people that they're playing to.
Is it really a rally?
I don't know. Well, I think you're going to see all kinds of pro-terrorist stuff. The Hamas flags and the all this stuff on the Mall on Saturday. And who knows? Maybe that won't be enough, but that's clearly what Chuck Schumer is playing to, and the Democrats. Did you, by the way, you referenced our friend Mike Lawler, congressman from the Hudson Valley, before you brought me on. I assume you've already talked about it when he got in Hakeem's face earlier this week.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of the best members of Congress we have.
Oh, there's no doubt. He's on this show weekly. He's a very, very close friend of mine, very close. And I had him on, not only Hakeem Jeffries, where he embarrassed Jeffries, but that same morning, he also embarrassed Gallego and Kelly from Arizona. He went after everybody. That's why I love Lawler. He's got a set of balls. He's like Trump in that respect. He really is. He doesn't care. But, look, we talked last week, too, about this charade. You use the word charade. They want you to believe, the Democrats, this is about health care. Well, I mean, to a certain extent it is, because they want illegals to have health care. But it's not about health care. There's nothing substantive in this bill that they care about. All they want to do is stick it up Trump's butt. That's it. This is Trump derangement syndrome at its best, whether it's Schumer, Jeffries. So they're talking about health care as if it's a legitimate issue. It's not. It's only about sticking it up Trump's butt. Agree or disagree?
I totally agree. I mean, if it was about health care, then why do you want to put illegals back on taxpayer-funded health care and cut $50 billion from rural health care? So this has nothing to do with that. They want $1.5 trillion in new spending. They want $500 million to prop up radical news outlets. They want billions of dollars to foreign countries for climate projects. The list goes on. And your point is the right point. This is nothing more than taking a shot at Trump to try and satisfy the pro-terrorist wing of their party. That's all they're doing. And they're causing serious pain to the people of New York. I mean, if you look, you've got almost 450,000 people in the WIC program, the Women, Infant, and Children's Nutritional Support Program. You got over 100,000 federal workers. I mean, you've got you got 3 million SNAP enrollees. All of this is being affected by this ridiculous shutdown.
So what do we do? They voted 7 times already, and they'll vote an 8th time tomorrow, and it'll be the same exact result. What can Republican senators do? Those 3 or 4 Democrat senators that are, somewhat responsible. What can they do to convince these animals that they're destroying a large portion of America?
Well, apparently they only need 4 or 5 of them. Sid, they've already got 3. They only need 4 or 5 of them. The issue is a clean CR. You realize this is the first
we already
time
have
in
it.
history.
We have it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the first time in history that they have shut the government down over a clean CR. This is the same thing that Chuck Schumer celebrated 6 months ago. It's the same thing that he and his colleagues voted for 13 times under Joe Biden. So what has to happen, despite the left-wing national news media that you try to counter every day, Sid, they are trying to give these guys. I was listening to a CBS thing. It came on. I was listening to an ESPN. There was a CBS report on Sunday that said the Republicans blocked a bipartisan pay our troops bill last week in the House. We voted on September 19th to pay our troops, Sid. All the Democrats but one voted not to fund our troops. So the pressure just has to keep growing on these people. You'll get 4 or 5 of these Democrats who understand that they are really causing pain on their constituents at home, and this thing will break.
You think that any of these people will maybe even soften up watching President Trump? And I know a lot of them hate Jews, too. That's the beauty of the Democrat Party. They hate America and the Jewish people and Israel. But you think some of them may go, I got to tell you, what I witnessed today was great. I mean, not the ones who are really have TSD, but maybe some of them that are, not really all that sick yet. They don't need medication yet, that they'll see what happened today and say, you know what, let's give this guy a break.
Well, they've got to recognize that they're not listening to the American people. That's first and foremost. Donald Trump got 77 million votes last November for a reason, Sid. It's because of what he was campaigning on. What are they doing? They're just carrying their hatred into the new year. This is what they've been doing since Donald Trump took office. They just haven't figured out the American people are not with them. The key is they're going to have to start waking up and listening to the American people who support Donald J. Trump. And the ones that don't, it's a small group, but they're loud and they're violent. And you know what? They just will never like Donald Trump. That's a fact.
The great Congressman, Majority Whip out of the state of Minnesota. I love this guy, Tom Emmer. So give me a prediction, Tom. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Does this go right up until November 21st? Because talking to Mike Johnson last week and listening to John Thune, you guys aren't bending. It's either take it or leave it.
Well, it should be because it is clean. This is the most fair thing that anybody could do. I think it goes through the Hate America rally on Saturday on the Mall, and then they find a way to get it done. Problem is now they've eaten up so much time out of the 7 weeks that this was supposed to have given us that will probably, if there's any negotiation, it's going to be on an extension of that November 21st date, Sid. Right. But first and foremost, we got to get this thing passed. We're trying to get back to a regular order appropriations process. This place has been broken on the appropriations side for so many years, for decades. Republicans under Donald J. Trump are trying to restore that process, and this is just delaying that.
Last one. So who's got the biggest parade in Minnesota? I've never asked my cousin Norm Coleman this. Is it St. Paul? Is it Minneapolis? Who's got the biggest Columbus Day parade this morning in your home state?
Well, St. Paul is always ahead of Minneapolis.
All right.
Minneapolis has... St. Paul's got a chip on their shoulder regularly, and so they're always outdoing Minneapolis, in my opinion.
Let me remind folks, my cousin was the mayor of St. Paul for 8 years, the great Norm Coleman. And you too, Tom Emmer. You're a terrific guy. You're great. Thank you for all your hard work. I couldn't think of a better Majority Whip than you. Thank you for stopping by this morning. We'll talk again very soon, my friend. Happy Columbus Day.
Same to you, Sid. Thanks.
God bless you. Tom Emmer.